Lemick at the Weather Channel. Let's have a little talk here about some of the action across the country we've been dealing with, well, throughout most of Friday and how it relates to what happens to us today. And in California, you can even see this big upper-level area of low pressure kind of doing its thing here, counterclockwise motion. Quieting down for Southern California as it moves away. Now, in what's called the wraparound, where the moisture is kind of being slung around again, wraparound moisture, we can continue to see maybe a few sprinkles throughout our morning. On toward the morning hours. A little rain still, but yeah, as it moves on. Sprinkle or two. But the problem is in the front is well onshore, but the cold air that came in behind the front, cold air aloft, that's what kicked off the big storms. We had numerous reports of water spouts early in Friday evening off the California coast, even a report of a tornado. Now, a water spout is a tornado over water, but it becomes actually a tornado called a water spout, but actually becomes a tornado if it makes land, if it reaches the land. Reports of that around Long Beach. I heard reports, haven't heard anything else further about that as far as damage goes, but apparently one did touch down in this region. As this area of low pressure moves on, it's not through yet. It's still going to bring about a lot of rain throughout parts of Arizona. Probably not a lot of snow. It's got a lot of warm air, some dry air too drawn in, warm dry air that's not really going to make for a lot of snows. High elevations could still get the snow, and spots where we push it up over mountains and orographic cooling takes effect as it rises, cooling and condensing with height. That could aid a little additional snowfall, but it's going to be kind of a wet weather maker and eventually a mess maker across Texas and onward. Here's the happenings. Yeah, could encounter a few travel troubles here for the overnight hours and on through the early morning. Some wet weather potential still. Flagstaff, yeah, we could see some flakes flying here around Phoenix. Looks like kind of a rainy day. And there's a snowfall. Summit of California. But again, Four Corners, with a system this big coming by, you almost expect to see a lot of snow. But again, pretty warm influence. Don't expect to see as much in the way of the snowy stuff here. In California tonight, this was the big story, this big cranking motion here. That was the big thing that brought around the rain around L.A. We saw a lot of it around Los Angeles. If you're driving around tonight, pretty dramatic what you're seeing here. This is the aerial view of L.A. Rain covering the city of Angels. In addition to the downpour, problems with traffic lights even caused motorists to make some delays as you make your way around Friday night. Beautiful sights of the city, though. Beautiful city. And just a bit too wet. But things getting drier and brighter. That's the good news. We'll cover that in the forecast. In addition to this mess, we've seen a little moisture that's been kicking into southern parts of Texas, and another area of low pressure called an Alberta Clipper, determined to make it onto New York City, Boston, and even Philly for the day. Here's some of the action as we're dealing with it now, cranking along here. The bigger they are, the slower they move. Well, this one's moving pretty fast. It can't take the time to gather moisture, and there's not much to work with. But it's moisture starved for a while till it gets closer to the Atlantic for the all-you-can-eat buffet and drags in a lot of moisture. It could really add to some snowfall amounts. Some parts of upstate New York, even parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, I will not be surprised at all to see maybe some 1-foot snow amounts. It can happen. We could see some at least 6-inch plus in many areas too. Driving Interstate 80, be careful. Could still see some snowfall here. Snow around the city. We could see it around New York City, around Muncie, around New Rochelle, around Fort Lee. But we could mix a little rain in here, kind of a rain-snow mix. Rain around Boston, maybe a snowflake or two kicking in as well. Could still see a bit of that. Here we see it moving in. Snow coming in across the Great Lakes, a lot of it here. Wind, that's really howling as well. We'll see a lot of the windy conditions around. Could make for a bitter cold wind chill, too. That's something else to think about. Could really make things feel a bit colder than they really are, including around Chicago, because we'll see the wind both ahead and behind the front as it moves in and along. Southeastern U.S., not much happening. A little moisture kicked into Texas, creating a few showers popping up throughout our day. If you're spring breaking, it's no fun, but may see a bit of it there anyway. Departure from average. Look at all the warmth here and the cool air here below normal in places like Jackson, Mississippi, and above normal into places like Denver, around 64 degrees. Let's look at the forecast overnight. Here's how we start up our day. Pretty cool around Minneapolis, around Detroit, Southfield, Cleveland, Parma. Pretty cool. Very cool, too. Maybe some freeze potential in parts of South Carolina. Here's a look in the morning. Low pressure here, still moving on, making the wet weather leave Southern California drier for San Diego and National City. But as it moves slowly, we'll start to see some rain move in around Phoenix and hang on for the day. A couple of showers into Texas, but right here, low pressure still moving along. This clipper is still clipping and bringing the snow and even some rain along the coast of the Northeast. How about amounts? Well, we could see maybe locally still some fairly heavy amounts of rain still being wrung out here. high elevations, a little snow, and a lot of snow here, maybe 6 inches. That's just between now and noon on Saturday. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty long weekend with a lot of snow potential around. How about high temperatures? Here's a look at some warmth for the southeast and warmth in the southwest. A lot of warmth pumped up here. Coming up, we'll look at how the travel conditions could be affected by what's happening with TravelWise. Stay tuned.
Hundreds of lawnmowers to choose from, with a broad range of quality features designed to meet your needs. But the ones that have the edge to do the job right have one feature in common: a powerful, high-performance Briggs & Stratton engine. Make sure your lawnmower is powered by Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
$99!
$99?
For only $99, you can experience the fun and excitement of Orlando and see your favorite attractions. You'll get first-class hotel accommodations and enjoy fabulous food. Call now and we'll extend your vacation an additional 2 nights in Daytona. That's 6 days and 5 nights for less than $17 a day.
Paul Emick at the Weather Channel.
For AM, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center AM continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
It's Saturday, March 14th, and it's half past the hour. I'm Rick Griffin here with Will Annan. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Weather Center. Well, we have a little bit of rain for Texas, Southern California, some snow for the Northeast, and that may be good news for the New England sled dog races in Rangeley, Maine today. There's courses 1 to 9 miles and all sorts of events going. It looks like there's probably going to be a few inches of snow in southern Maine this afternoon.
So the timing is going to be perfect.
Yeah, looks like it.
All right. Let's talk about what's happening right now. Rick is going to be back in just a little bit with the forecast. The current stuff, though, we're going to show you the satellite picture. Anything brewing out there? Well, you can see we do have one system in the northeastern part of the country. As we put the clouds into motion, it's beginning to cruise right on through the northeast right now. That brought the snows to the Great Lakes states yesterday, and now it's going to bring a lot of snowfall, at least a band of 3, 4, 5, or 6 inches to some spots of Pennsylvania and New York. Just about all of New England away from the coast will be looking at that band of snowfall as well. So Boston, the snow is going to be on the way. It could be mixed in with a little bit of rainfall. Same thing for New York City, and points southward, maybe a couple of sprinkles, mainly early on this morning. Southwest looking at your share of weather as well. Upper level low spinning around southeastern California and Arizona. That will become an important storm later in the week. Weekend and early next week across the Mid-South, eventually the southeastern part of the country with more rain on the way. There is some rain right now in Southern California, South Texas, and also you can see our system beginning to work its way on toward the northeast across much of the New England states right now. Strong southerly winds ahead of it. On the backside, we're looking at some brisk northwesterly winds this morning, so the wind chill is taking a dive again around Green Bay down towards Chicago, Illinois. Boston right now 30 degrees, the Big Apple 38. So of course your precip is going to be rain mixing with some snow as it begins to move on in from the west. And here it comes, invading Watertown, Syracuse, Elmira. It looks like the New York State Thruway is going to be a little bit of a sloppy go. We'll drop farther southward. There could be a couple of sprinkles too around Philly this morning. There's your snow around Pittsburgh and northeastern Ohio, around Akron and Canton. It looks like a little bit of a lobe of snow did pass through Columbus, nearby Reynoldsburg, within the last hour or so. but that should be ending now as time goes along. Lake effect snow showers coming off Lake Michigan right now into the southwestern corner of lower Michigan, right around Benton Harbor and Kalamazoo, getting up towards Muskegon. Same thing around Traverse City. And yes, same thing happening around Marquette, Michigan too. And you can see that flow, a very strong one, coming down from the north right now across much of the Badger State into the state of Illinois and the Hoosier State as well. Look at the temperatures at this hour. 16 in Green Bay, 11 in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Factor in those winds, and the wind chill goes way down there. 11 below in Minneapolis, 17 below in Fargo, and already 5 below in Chicagoland, and it's going to be a breezy day there too. In the deep south this morning, it's a warmer morning for sure throughout much of Florida and much of the deep southeast after some very, very chilly mornings, the last few, where we saw temperatures in the teens and lower 20s, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Warmer this morning. Take a look at Atlanta, 38 degrees. Jacksonville, a cooler spot at 33, but at least you're into the 40s from Orlando on southward right now, and that's some pretty good news there. You'll be looking at a nice warm-up as the day goes on. Heading back towards the west right now, we have some rain across the Lone Star State. We'll pick it out for you right now from Houston and Galveston and Corpus Christi down to around Brownsville. It's all beginning to spin its way on towards the north, then make the bend and move more towards the northeast into the state of Louisiana. In and around Houston itself, this is how it looks this morning. You've got the rain around Palacios, Houston, also Galveston and Beaumont and Lake Charles in Louisiana, and we'll take it all the way up towards Lufkin and Waco with a couple of light showers coming down this morning. The southwest, you're looking at some rainfall as well, and we'll pick up some of that into Southern California with the area of low pressure spinning around here. Some of the higher terrain, maybe a flake or two of snow, but it's going to be this storm system in time that's going to really crank up and bring some substantial rainfall to the deep south, all the way from, let's say, Texas to Georgia to the Carolinas by the middle of next week. Temperature's not too bad this morning, and we're looking at all of the major systems right now beginning to fade away for the most part. Nothing all that organized right now, except for this area low pressure over Southern California, which is dumping the rainfall there this morning. That is a look at your current weather map on this early Saturday morning. And now the national forecast with Rick.
Okay, Will, thanks a lot. Let's go to the northeast first, where we have a vigorous Alberta clipper coming through the eastern Great Lakes this morning, and by lunchtime, the center right about over Lake Placid in New York City's Adirondacks with an occluded cold front combination sweeping south. Now, this is a fast-moving system with limited moisture, but it is a strong storm, and it is getting stronger with time. So we do expect substantial snowfall today over the interior of New England, New York State, westward into the Great Lakes region. New York City and Boston, some snow expected, maybe some accumulation outside the city, particularly well north of New York City and west of Boston especially. We'll talk a little bit more about the detail concerning that shortly. High pressure in the south should make for a nice day in Atlanta. Become breezy as the front approaches and then swings into the vicinity this afternoon, but a dry front with little or no precipitation with it. Cold Arctic air here, and we look for rain to increase in Texas. The reason, high pressure in this vicinity and a return flow off the Gulf of Mexico with moist southeast winds into Houston and College Station. And of course we have the southwest system, which has dropped significant rain in the LA basin overnight. Should track slowly east during the day with rain and snow. Moving out of California into Arizona and the Four Corners, some of the precipitation will be heavy. All right, for the northeast today, vigorous low pressure moving on through with snow expected and several inches, particularly in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and upstate New York. New York City to New Haven, snow to begin with, changing to rain, showers as the day unfolds. 42 Boston, 53 in D.C. In the southeast, pretty nice day. Once again in Atlanta, Roswell looking good. In Orlando, Houston will be wet. Chicago, blustery today. Same for Detroit. High temperatures.
Sun is rising. Shine, shine. Looks like a great day.
It's a great day for the comfort and convenience of changing tint Transitions lenses. Indoors, they lighten. Outdoors, they darken. So lightweight plastic Transitions lenses are right in any light. Make the change to Transitions lenses and see for yourself.
It's a great day.
Transitions lenses, right in any light and right for you.
Each new day, people across America add just a little more beauty to their lives by adding something beautiful to their homes. Vinyl siding by Alcoa. Low-maintenance exteriors that reflect the timeless beauty of nature. So today, the Larson's masterpiece in Davenport and the Morgan's contemporary in Connecticut never looked better. Vinyl siding for your